She hits the bus button faster than I can find it. So always, every time. Thank you, Kristen. All right, you guys, here we are, smack dab in the middle of July already, like halfway through the summer months, I always say. June, July, August feels like that's what summer is, but halfway through July, which is absolutely insane. So today we've got our team call. There is a funnel training tomorrow at 3 Eastern. That's the one that Mike Minch is doing. He's doing those on Tuesday and Thursday. And those are just, I think, through the end of the month for now. So if you need some extra funnel training, go ahead and hop on that. I don't have the link posted here, but we'll get it in the Slack channel this afternoon. Wednesday is the national call, and then Thursday, the other funnel training, in addition to the sales deep dive. Always an important call, something I join that call as often as I can, and I learn something, I would say, every single week. So if you're looking for some sales training, they do go over funnel training as well, but great place to hop in and learn. And then also the Shank Master Agency team call will be this Friday. So anyway, if you're looking for how you need to plug in, stay tuned, pay attention to the calendar here. As a reminder, Holly Hensley and Sarah Neal, excuse me, are doing a training just out of the kindness of their hearts every single week. They're doing that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So show up there right before like team calls, national calls, Shank Master Agency call. If you're looking to just get some, additional advice, help, tips, tricks, increase your sales, phone training, sales training. So these are some ladies who have done a really great job just on our team, like in our master agency. So join those ladies. It's just such a nice thing that they've done, offering their time to serve all of us. So go support them and learn while you're at it. Here's a quick peek at the in-person events. So there's some corporate overviews and just boot camps, things like that. So if you're looking for a place to like connect with people, associate, make sure you find one of these that might be close to you and hop on over there and meet some people, get some great training, and it's just wonderful to be in person. So if one of these events is close by you, feel free to hop over there and connect. Then let's just do our conference shout out. So it is coming up, you guys. We are literally like a month away. The countdown is on. If you have not registered for conference yet, you need to hit the done button on it. Denver, August 13th through the 15th. A whole bunch of us are going to be there. So if your name is not on the list, that means we don't have you there yet. So make sure that you get your conference ticket purchased. Make sure you use the discount code. There's no need to pay more than what you need to. So if you're in Kyle and Kristen Gaines Base Shop, make sure you use their code, the Gaines 1575. And if you're in the Jennifer Gaines Base Shop, Gaines 1565. Make sure also if you see somebody on here who you think might be like doing a room by themselves, maybe you guys might want to, connect and share the cost on a room or a car or something like that. So we talk about this a lot, but just find other people that you can connect with and maybe share some of the cost. All right, welcome to the team, a whole bunch of people from last week. So welcome to all of you. We've got Damon Beardsley. He's actually here in Colorado Springs with us, which is super nice. Direct to me, he's in pre-licensing. Chris Baker, also in Colorado. Direct to myself, welcome to you, Chris. And then we've got direct to Dave Killebrew. Why don't I have a name? Anyway, welcome, new friend, direct to Dave Killebrew. Very happy to have you here. I probably should have snagged that from the post that you did, Dave, so that's my fault. And then we've got direct to Kyle and Kristen. We've got Sarah Martinez. Welcome to you. Martinez Hanson, excuse me. And then Jennifer McGee, direct to brand new team member Maddie. I think there's a relationship there as well. Connection. So welcome to you, Jennifer. And then Teresa Johnson, couldn't see the last name. Teresa Johnson, direct to Kyle and Kristen, welcome to you. So really fun to have all kinds of new people joining the team. Okay, I just saw a hand raised. Tim, sorry, did I miss something?
Yeah, no, good morning, good afternoon. I just want to do a shout out for Marissa Ortiz. It's her first meeting with us today. She's already licensed, and we're going through the finishing contracts details, and we're talking about leads, and I just wanted to welcome her to meet everybody. So that's Marissa.
Thank you. Welcome, Marissa. Happy to have you. Thanks, Tim, for that.
Hi, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to move on. All right, big shout out to Al Hernandez, direct to Tim Romero for passing that exam. Man, that is one of the best feelings is getting that done behind you. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Oftentimes we say you can forget everything that you learned in there, and then we're gonna work on kind of getting you up to speed and teaching you what you need to know here to do what it is that we do. So congratulations to you, Al. And then one solo weekend warrior, Tim Coates, congratulations on serving a family this weekend. One app for 336. Way to go. Okay, we're off to a little bit of a slow start this month. So there's lots of month left, like to gain some traction. So no doubt we will get that done. But last week in our master agency, we had 7 writers with 14,073. Year to date, we are sitting at 25 writers with 11 new and 758,000. So great job, everyone. In the Jen Gaines Base Shop, 13 writers, 7 new, 368 for the year. Kyle and Kristen Gaines Base Shop, 12 writers, 4 new, sneaking up on that $400,000 mark. Great job, Team K2. Writers with Writers, here's the list of those builders who have brought on new writers this year. This is a board you want to be on. So if you're not here yet, let's work on getting you your first writer and team member. So great job to everyone on this list so far. All right, a reminder about the Great 8, you guys. The 4 cornerstones for just our business. We need to believe in what we're selling. We need to do massive action with constant correction, lots of coaching, personal development. What are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you learning to just grow yourself into the person that you need to be here to accomplish what you're looking to accomplish? And then association, as we talked about, just being in person with people, like nothing beats that. Getting to those boot camps, corporate overviews, and conference. And we're gonna, if you were on Jordan's call last Friday, we hit conference pretty hard, and we're gonna talk about it again today with Danny. We're gonna get his insight on conference and hopefully get a couple more people to hit the done button on that this week. And then if you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck, just maybe with some of your business, think about checking on these 4 keys to a successful week. What are your resources looking like? So what are your resources for serving clients, your personal production? Also, what are your recruiting resources, whether that's cold market or warm market? Following a system, lots of activity, and making sure you're setting yourself a schedule that you can commit and stick to. So this is what it's all about here, right here, guys. So take a look at these, consider them as you begin to kind of move your business down the road. All right, let's talk a little more about last week. We had 2 writers who hit 5K by Friday. Congratulations to you, Tim, for coming in with 5,235, and then Kyle Gaines with that buzzer beater, as he said, 5,136. Great job to you, gentlemen, for hitting 5K last week. The Jennifer Gaines Space Shop, last week we had 3 writers with 9 apps and 6,062. Tim, as we mentioned, the #1 spot with his 5K week, myself, 2 apps, 604, and Jason, 1 app, 223. And in the Kyle and Kristen Gaines Base Shop, They came in with 4 riders, 5 applications for 8,011. Kyle, again, 5K week, 5,136 with 1 app. Gabrielle, 2 apps, 2,038. Kristen, 1 app, 538. And Anna, 1 app, 299. So again, a little bit smaller numbers, but again, lots of time this week. We're always, this time of year, we're always dealing with people who are on vacation and just lots going on. So plenty of time to serve families this week. And here's how the numbers look so far for the month of July, just as an entire team. We're coming in at 30,623 with 8 riders and 34 apps. So here's the list of our riders month to date. Great job, Tim and Gabrielle, Kyle, Kristen, you guys taking the #1 spot. And we're just going to keep on pushing, serving more families, as many as we can. Love this slide. Always like to acknowledge every application on here is a family that we served who was not protected before we got in touch with them. So just shooting for just as individuals serving as many families as we can in the year of 2025. 100 is kind of the goal. But so far, year to date, as a team, we have served 615 families. And then find your name on the list. These numbers just keep going up. So love serving families, love acknowledging this. This is a great work by everyone. And then our road to ownership, 3 teams on the road this month to date. Team Kuchiara, Coates, and Van Ginkel. So let's take a peek at those teams. Team Kuchiara, 2 riders month to date with 7,341. Great job to you, Kuchiara and Company, I think it is. It used to be Kuchiara Crew, but I think you changed it. But still think you're a crew. But anyway, key leaders, Daniel and Gabrielle, great job there. Team Coates, 2 riders with a submit APV of 13,033 month to date. And then Team Van Ginkel with 1 rider, 547. Just love that little picture of your family. So makes me happy. Okay, great. You guys, let's put in the chat. What are you striving for this month? Chase the contract. What type of contract level, promotion, recruiting numbers? Like, what are you running for this month? Put it in the chat so that you can just have accountability against that. So make sure that you understand like what it's going to take to hit the goal that you need. And then so far this month, you've got to pay attention to where you're at. Are you halfway there? Are you 3/4 there? Make sure you know those numbers, and also look at the list of people who are kind of running towards something. If it's the same thing as you, maybe you guys ought to be running buddies, or maybe you can just continue to encourage those that are running for something. Just kind of encourage them, ask them how they're doing, and just kind of keep that just relationship up with people. So I see you guys starting to put those in there. Tim Coates and Anna, let's go, guys. You got this. All right, connect calls available. If there's anyone here on the screen that you want to just have a quick huddle up chat with, talk about questions, hurdle strategy, feel free to use the links here and schedule a time to connect. All right, Daniel, I see you. Great. Kristen, I see you as well. Gabrielle, great job. Okay, you guys. Wonderful. All right, I think we've got everybody in the meeting, and so we're going to go ahead and introduce our special guests today. Danny, are you out there?
I'm always out here.
There you are. I had to find you first.
There I are.
There you is. Welcome, and thank you for being with us today. So grateful that you would take time out of your very busy schedule and come and chat with us. So welcome to our call. And
My pleasure. Look, that picture's from our old house, okay?
I know.
We've been in our new house a year, just saying.
I know. I should have snagged the picture from Kyle and Kristen's visit in your new house.
No, that's not what you should have done, okay? You should have a picture in our new house.
Right.
by
Right.
now.
That's true.
Okay.
I probably should.
Probably.
Anyway, You guys, just quick by way of introduction, for those of you who maybe this is your first time being introduced to Danny Young. Danny is an equity partner and legacy advisory board member, and I'm sure I'm missing some things. He's got a lot of titles, so it's hard to keep track of them all. But Danny has the third largest agency in our entire company. And the really just incredible thing about Danny and his wonderful wife, Sandy, they are just big supporters of our agency. If you guys had even just a little bit of an understanding, the time and just like the love that they have for our team, Danny and Sandy both. Like, Danny, thank you very much. You are always willing to do anything for our team, and just thank you very much for that. I really appreciate everything that you've done for us.
You're very
And I also just want to say, if you're coming to conference or if you're not there yet, I want to let you know that Danny's going to be leading and hosting one of the breakout sessions at conference. So if you are, and are you speaking on main stage as well?
I am.
All right. All right. Is your speech done yet? Have you completed that?
Oh, you're insane.
Oh
We
no.
got, we got 4 weeks till conference. You know how I work. It'll be ready.
It'll be ready. Even
It'll
if
be
you just
ready.
had to wing it, it would be perfect. So
I
anyway.
might do that.
You might. Anyway, you guys, it's a real honor to have Danny here. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
We have
By
questions.
we got
Questions.
we got some questions. We
I
got some
got to answer. If I don't know the answer, I'm gonna make something up. You won't
That's
even know the
okay.
difference.
It'll still probably be great. So, but anyway, I want to first just kind of maybe just give us a quick little rundown of your history, because you didn't start out in the insurance industry, but you got here a little bit uh later in life.
Mhm.
We've got a lot of people who start, like we talked with Andrew Jimenez a few weeks ago. He came here when he was like 12, actually I
Yes.
think 20, 21, something like that. But that wasn't the case for you. You got here a little bit later in life. So I want to kind of hear your just quick little story, but then I want to find out, like, tell us about why why it's not too late for anyone in this business. No matter when you get here, why is it just always the best time? So, is that
Well,
okay?
yeah. My story, there's no short, okay, in my story because I'm
Yes,
100 years old.
that's true.
But I'll do it this way. I've been insurance licensed for 41 years. I was with a company called Primerica for 21 years. Then I got into the mortgage protection through a 25-year-old. I was 59 years old then. I got 25-year-old in Primerica, found mortgage protection. I'd never heard of it. And but he sent me a link. I looked at that thing and I was fine with what they did because about in my 21st year, Jennifer, you know this, my 21st year at Primerica, I made 200,000.
Mhm.
Problem was, I mentioned it, I was 59. And I
Mhm.
realized one day that if I wanted to make 200,000 the next 12 months, like I did the previous 12 months, I was going to have to do at least as much and probably more than I did the previous 12 months. And here's the problem. Most of y'all don't understand this, okay? But if you're in your 50s, the difference between being 30 and being 59 is something called energy. All right. 30-year-old walks into a room, looks for a 30-year-old to talk to. 59-year-old walks into a room, looks for a chair. There's a difference. And so I got kind of depressed, tell you the truth, thinking about having to do more because there really isn't that much more when you're in a business like this where it's really the same thing. Only thing changes. We do the same thing about every day, just with different people, you know.
Mhm.
But anyway, I was there and he found mortgage protection. And I was okay with what they did. What I needed to see was I needed to see somebody 59 years old making 200,000 a year doing that. Okay. I just need to see one. And I went to Raleigh, North Carolina with this guy. It wasn't Symmetry. It was another IMO, same one that Brandon Ellison and Casey Watkins came from. Chris Cook came from there. Um, anyway, I went. I'll eliminate that part of it, and I will tell you that I joined. I resigned from Primerica and I signed up with them. I was there 7 years. And I want to tell this part, Jennifer, because it just
Okay.
shows people what they have hold of here.
Yeah.
In 7 years, I built an agency. I became an agency owner there. I'm not an agency owner. They didn't have ownership. I became an agency manager. And in 7 years, I had built an agency of about 45 to 50 writers a month. And we were doing between 250, 260,000 a month in premium a month now.
Hmm.
And I was making about, I ran appointments my first 4 years. I didn't run appointments my last 3 years. I just recruited and trained and motivated and talked people off a bridge and that sort of stuff. Okay. And I was making it somewhere in the $260,000 range.
Hmm.
And then Brandon and Casey left in 2009. I was there from 2006 to 2013. Okay. But
Okay.
they left. I don't know why they left, but they did. And they hooked up with this guy named Brian Pope out of he was in Sacramento, California at the time, and they started Symmetry in October of 2009. Now, I didn't know that. Okay, I just knew they left. I felt like they abandoned their people. I felt like they abandoned me. So, being from Louisiana, I went into a 4 year pouting stage where they would call me every year, one time every year. I wouldn't take the call, and until the fourth year. And see, I got unhappy enough where I was in the fourth year that when Brandon called, I took his call. And
Hmm.
then we talked 2 or 3 times, and they flew me out to South Carolina and met with me for a day and a half. Because here's what I want you to understand about Symmetry. They started in October of 2006. Is that right?
Nine. Oh,
2009.
nine.
Upside down six.
Right.
They did 86,000 their first month in business. 86,000 October. That was with Brandon, Casey, and Casey's brother Linwood, the only agent they had. All right. Three agents. They did 86,000.
Hmm.
I met with them in October of 13, and they were doing 1 million a month. So they went from 86,000 their first month. 4 years later, they're doing 1 million a month. Here we are 11 years later, and they're doing 20 million a month.
Hmm.
Grown every year, including the three bad COVID years, every year. Find a company that did that through COVID. We were up
Totally.
40 million, 35 million, 40 million those 3 months. I mean, those 3 years.
Hmm.
And so I met with them, saw what they had, and just, I mean, I seriously couldn't wait to become a part of this thing because now think about this. This is 11 and a half years ago. They were 4 years old and they were getting 80% of their business from 7 states on the East Coast. I was the first cemetery agent in the state of Louisiana. My first recruit was the first guy in Tulsa. But we started in our first month was December of 13. And we came from mortgage protection, but we didn't know how the leads worked. We didn't know how the carriers worked. We didn't know how the apps worked. We didn't know how underwriting worked. And they had no A leads, no new leads because they only mail to counties or parishes where they had agents asking for leads. But somebody found an old box of old leads. These things were like yellow. And I think they overnighted them to us because they wouldn't go through a fax machine without, disintegrating. And there were five of us in December. And those five, by the way, those five people, I think it's maybe six. But anyway, if it was five or six, they're all still here. Think
Hmm.
about that, 11 and a half
Hmm.
years later. But we didn't care if they were old leads. We just wanted to go to work. And see,
Yeah.
that's what I told Brandon Casey when I met with him. I said, we're coming to play big. I'm gonna tell you right now, because nobody, 4 year old company, there was like nobody building anything.
Hmm.
Everybody was producing because it's the easiest thing to do. It's the easiest thing back then. It's the easiest thing today. It's the easiest thing 20 years from now. Get a lead, make a dial, set an appointment, run that appointment, find something that works for those people, write an app, get it issued, get paid.
Wait,
Never got
say that again. Say that again. It's that simple. It's that straightforward.
it is. It is. And if you want to make big money, you recruit and train some people to get a lead, make a dial, set an appointment, run that appointment, find something that works for them, write an app, get it issued, get paid. And you
Hmm.
make overrides when you teach people to do that. Okay.
Hmm.
So we did 61,000 in December of 13, our first month, five of us, off of yellow leads, okay, that had to be overnighted. But it's only because we want to go to work. See, I knew that if their leads would get my people into homes, that they were going to make money. And so that's exactly what happened. Our second, and see, when you're at one IMO in the insurance industry and you move to another IMO, You cannot recruit people from the old, you can't actively recruit people from the old IMO. You'll get
Hmm.
sued. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's against your contract at that previous IMO. I didn't try to recruit anybody, but I knew what would happen. My 45, 50 writers, I knew that they would find out where I went, and I knew that the right ones would come. See,
Hmm.
they could ask me if they could come, and I could say yes, as long as I didn't actively recruit them, which I didn't.
Hmm.
So I had 5 agents in December, Jennifer. I had 20 agents in January. Our second month. Our second month here, we did 212,000 in premium because I had 20 writers. Okay. So we did 2.5 million our first year here. Nobody's ever done that before. But I mean, we should have done well. I had 7 years, but I want you to see the difference. I told you in 7 years at the other IMO, I did 45, 50 writers, 250,000 a month.
Okay.
I'm making about 260 something thousand, all passive. Here we are 11 years later, we're doing 2.8, 2.9 million a month with somewhere between 550 and 600 writers. And I say that to say this, I didn't get that much better. This thing is better. The leads are better. The ownership is incredibly better. The culture is incredibly better. This entire thing is better. And we have such an advantage in this company. Now think about this for new people, because you mentioned new people, okay?
Yep.
Here's what y'all have. You have much bigger markets than I did 11 years ago. You have more people today that want insurance than you did 11 years ago. And you thank COVID for that, okay? COVID made everybody look at their mortality.
Yeah.
You have way more people in your recruiting market because of COVID. COVID quarantined people. COVID sent people home to work and where they got reintroduced to their family. And a lot of those people liked that. They met their kids again. They liked that. And so when COVID went away and they asked these people to, or they told these people to come back to your cubicle, a lot of them didn't go.
Hmm.
Look, they've run survey after survey after survey, and what they're finding out is that COVID caused a huge number of people to want to do something different with their career, and they want to do it from home. We have both those things for people.
Hmm.
Plus, if you started today, you start on a contract 20 points higher than the ones that like we started on, Jennifer,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
20
Yep.
points higher. You can't find many 80% contracts, starting contracts in the insurance business.
Hmm.
Primerica, for example, their starting contract is 25%. That's two
Wow.
five. Okay.
Wow.
Yet, look, they recruited in their 45th year last year, they recruited 90,000 people to a
Hmm.
25% contract.
Hmm.
And we have people here that can't find anybody to recruit. That makes
Hmm.
no sense at all. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we have more products. Not only do we have more carriers, we have carriers building proprietary products just for us to sell.
Hmm.
That's rare now in the insurance industry, okay?
Yeah.
Plus, I think I mentioned this on the call probably last week. I read the other day that there's something like 2,900 companies have planned layoffs between now and the end of the year. 2,900 companies.
Mm.
UPS just laid off 20,000 drivers.
Wow.
Google laid off 9,000 people. Now, where are
Wow.
these laid off people going to go? To
Yeah.
another company that's laying off people?
Mm-mm.
Because it's like everybody's laying off people. AI is going to take a lot of jobs, a lot of
Yeah.
jobs. Where are those people going to go? So
Yeah.
we're fixing to have by far the biggest recruiting thing you've ever seen. If you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
When the wave comes, you either can ride it or you can drown. You got to get ready for this and you got to participate in this. If you want to have something of substance, because it's just ridiculous what we have hold of here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to
Wow.
change. Understand this, insurance has been around 260 years. It's going to be around for another 5,000 years.
Yeah.
People are always, think about this opportunity. People are always going to need and want insurance. They're going to protect their home. They're going to protect their car. They're going to protect their income, which is what we do for them. Okay. But people are always going to buy insurance. People are going to always want a good retirement. They don't know how to get it because what they get to participate at their job is not going to do it for them because they're not going to be there long enough. So we can show people how to protect their home. We can show people how to have a much better retirement, a tax-free retirement with our products.
Mhm.
There's the whole generation, my generation, doesn't want a GoFundMe, when they die. But look, you can see it on Facebook every day. Every day they're setting up
Yeah.
a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
One mama raises five kids, and five kids can't bury one mama. See, there's something wrong with that.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
so we do that in the senior market with Final Expense. People have money invested. If they have it in the bank, they're making less than 2%, probably less than 1%. We can show people how to put that money into an indexed annuity where it can make money and can't lose money. And then I think the biggie, the most important thing we're doing right now is debt-free life.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you what, Jennifer, I could line up 10 of my friends. I've known these people, say for 15 years, outside of cemetery. Line them
Yeah.
up. I can't tell you one thing looking at them. I can't tell you one thing about the insurance they own. I have no idea.
Mhm.
But I can tell you this, every one of them's got debt.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
And then look, people want to get out of debt. They don't know how to get out of debt. They don't know how they got in debt. So they
Mhm.
definitely don't know how to get out of debt. So these are the things we can do for people that they can't do for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you're saying is it's not too late for anyone. Like the opportunity is bigger and better today than it even
It
was
is.
a year ago.
It is. And everybody on this call's got people out there they care about, whether it's family, friends, or what. They also need this.
Yeah,
They need
absolutely.
this. And you have a get out of jail free card. Matter of fact, you have an unlimited number of get out of jail free cards that you can go pass out to the people you care about. Because if this, I've always believed this ain't good enough for me, it's good enough for people I care about. So, but you can do it the way you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about building. You have a call every Sunday night. You've been doing it for years and years. It's technically a builder's call. Is that right? Like you started it
Correct.
as a builder's
Correct.
call, but
That's by
uh,
design, by the way.
okay. Tell
That's by
tell me
design
about that. Why do you say that?
because producers leave and builders stay.
Mhm.
So if I'm gonna impact somebody, if I'm gonna influence somebody,
Mhm.
I have to talk a language that does that.
Mhm.
Okay. And I can talk to a producer like come here and all they want to do is get leads and run appointments. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I've learned this over the years. They don't read, they don't attend,
Mhm.
they run appointments. That's what they do. I mean, it doesn't make them bad people. I'm just saying that people that come here and just want to produce, they do until they don't.
Yeah.
Because they have a company here that says if you build an agency, if you just have six writers and
Mhm.
y'all do 30,000 issued 3 months in a row, you will become what we call an agency manager. And at that time, you get to sign a contract with Cemetery giving you ownership of that agency.
Mhm.
How did you feel the day you got to sign that contract, Jennifer?
It was joyful.
Yeah,
It was so
yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
Hey, how'd you feel the day that your son and daughter-in-law got to sign their contract?
Even better.
That's right.
Even better.
That's right. So if somebody comes here and says, "Hey, look at here. I can build an agency. I can attract people to my agency. I can help those people become successful.
Mhm.
And when I get a few, six is not a bunch, okay? Six is a few.
Yep.
If I build that, they're going to give me contractual ownership of that agency. It's going to have my name on it, and it's going to be in my family if I want it to be for generations. I can pass it down to my kids, pass it down to my grandkids. I can sell it later on down the road in cemetery. If you want to just retire and go, live in a shack in Montana, you can do that. No, I don't think I'll do. I think I'll just get leads and go write business. See, that makes no sense to me. And plus, what I know is that personal producers, they're not here long term, Jennifer. It's too hard. This is not an individual sport. It's a team sport. Now, where can you go? Look, a lot of y'all have worked a job in corporate America, wherever, okay? And when a new hot shot shows up one day, a new hire,
Mhm.
everybody gets nervous
Mhm.
because that new hire just walked in the door and in 6 months maybe your boss. They may
Mhm.
even ask you to train your future boss
Yeah.
without any more money. Do it free. Do it for the company. Okay. So people don't like new people showing up at work. But here,
Hmm.
You benefit here from finding people better than you. When we found Ashley Tar was better than me. She had a bigger work ethic. She had a bigger want to. She had just a mission in life. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
See, I benefited from that. She
Yeah.
benefited from my coaching. Okay, but I benefited from that.
Hmm.
And so you can look, you can recruit an unlimited number of people. You don't pay any of them. You can have an unlimited number. Look, I've got I think 94 agents have come up through my agency and gotten their ownership. You understand? I don't pay any of them, and
Hmm.
I don't pay for an office for any of them.
Yeah.
See, if I'm sitting in my office in my house,
Yep.
okay, and so it makes no sense to me. It doesn't mean you can't do it. There are personal producers that come here and produce and produce and produce, okay, until they don't.
Yep.
I got here 11 and a half years ago. There was a guy named Joe Del Vecchio. Any of y'all ever heard of Joe Del Vecchio? Joe Del Vecchio was doing 30, 35,000 a month, every month, every month, every month. So why haven't y'all heard of him?
Mm.
Joe ain't here anymore
Hmm.
because it just gets too hard to have all the pressure on you every day.
Yeah.
You can't get tired, you can't get sick, you can't get, run over by a car. You can't do all those things because your business goes down with you. But if
Hmm.
you build something and you have people working for you, you could have a bad production week, but somebody on your team's gonna have a good production week. And the cemetery does not care how many you recruit, where you recruit. You can
Yeah.
do look, as fast as you want, as big as you want, wherever you want. Good Lord.
Yeah.
And we got 100, look, there's 163 million people today, Jennifer, out there in the real world. We're not in the real world. They're out there in the real world working. They either have a
Hmm.
job, they got a small business, whatever. 163 million.
Hmm.
Cemetery has less
Hmm.
than 5,000 agents writing business every month after 15 and a half years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want to build, there's never been a better time. There's
Yeah.
never been as many people that need what we have from a product standpoint, and there's never been as many people that need what we have from a building standpoint. So I just think the older you get, the more help you want with everything. Okay, I'm living proof of that. All right, your kids have been down here. They know. They see what I do. I sit in this chair. This is my third call today. I've got three more after this.
Wow.
But it's cold outside. I don't have to go. I don't scrape windshields like y'all do, Jennifer. I don't have to do that kind of stuff. But it just makes no sense to me because here's why. And I'm gonna get back to the way I talk, okay? Because producers respond to different words than builders do,
Okay.
okay? Producers respond to you talking about leads. They respond to you talking about contracts, and they respond to you talking about training. That's all capital letters. Producers love training. What people don't know is that what appeals to a producer repels a builder. They'll know that. See, if you're up in Montana, Idaho, wherever they do that fly fishing, you're trying to catch a certain kind of fish. You cannot catch that fish with a cane pole and a worm. It's not going to
Hmm.
work. Down here in Louisiana, we're sportsman's paradise. We got bass fishing down here. It's unbelievable how big that industry is. You can't catch a bass with a cane pole and a worm. So what you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to catch, is going to determine the bait you use. So if I want to recruit producers, I talk about leads, I talk about contracts, I talk about training. But when I'm talking about those three things, the noise I'm hearing in the background is the builders running for the hills, okay? Because they're not interested in leads, contracts, and training. What they are interested in is bonuses and ownership. See, that's the bait I use when I talk to people about coming here. I talk about bonuses and ownership.
Now,
Go
oh,
ahead.
go, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, here's why that's not a bad thing. Because producers come here. Look, I've got a lot of producers. I do. I have a lot of producers.
Mhm.
I just personally don't look for producers. But if a producer goes down a producer path where he does that thing, get a lead, make a dial, that thing, okay, they'll do that and they will never build,
Okay.
okay? But if you get a builder,
Mhm.
builders produce and build. Ben Sapieport's been here. He's been here a couple of years longer than me. He's in
Mhm.
my age. He's been here a couple of years longer than me. Agency owner, still produces.
Yeah.
Capistrano did 500,000 personally 3 months, 3 years in a row when he was becoming an AO. Bo Hirschfield has done 500,000 the last 2 years as he became an AO. So producers, look, producers don't build, they just produce. Builders produce and build
Mhm.
and stay.
Mhm. Mhm.
See, if you're going to invest your time and effort and experience and all and your money, all
Mhm.
that into somebody,
Mhm.
you want it to be somebody that's probably going to stay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
builders.
Yeah.
That's
No, and that is so good. It's so helpful. Just that insight. I remember you told me a long time ago if that I would get tired just
yeah.
producing.
And you
You told
did.
me that. I remember that. But there's, a lot of people that come here and say, they want to figure this out. They want to figure out production and, learn everything they need before they start building.
Yeah.
Why
And
is that
and look,
maybe
they,
not the best strategy?
well, it's not the best strategy, but they can do it if they want to, okay? But
Sure.
see, here's the thing. The way I look at that, number one, it's never worked, okay? But number two, I call that selfish. Hey, you go to a movie, you like the movie, you and your spouse, whatever, and you tell people about it. A movie. You go to a restaurant, have a great meal. You tell people about it.
Mhm.
You come here. This is, look, you don't know yet, but this could be the thing that you've been praying for. This could be the thing that could change your life.
Yeah.
This could be the thing that you could do where you could maybe retire your spouse or retire yourself. If it's real,
Mhm.
it could
Mhm.
do those things.
Mhm.
I'm not going to tell anybody about it. Makes no sense to me. Being selfish. See, it's
Because
like having a lead. It's like having a lead and not having and not calling that lead for a month, and you call a month later and the person died in that
yeah,
30 days prior. It's happened more than once.
totally.
Selfish. This is about helping other people, okay? Whether it's from a product standpoint or whether it's from a building standpoint. But and look, I've had lots of people in my time here say, well, I don't want to talk to my brother-in-law. I can tell, no, he wouldn't do this. How do you know?
Mhm.
See, the only thing you know about your brother-in-law is what you see in that environment he's been in the whole time you've known him. You don't have any idea what he'll turn into in this environment.
Mhm.
Now, do you think you're still the same person, Jennifer, that was making 29,000 a year at that school? No, don't
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
And none of us are.
Yeah.
None of us are the same people. We are better people because of symmetry. Why would you not want people you care about how about you let them decide if they want to come here? At least share it with them. Good Lord. And if nothing else, if they're not interested, they know somebody that would be interested.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it only takes, look, it takes one or two of the right kind of people. You can build a dynasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, because you often will say, if we can get to 20 writers,
Mhm.
that's going to have a bit like we're going to start feeling that financially and just, yeah, time and that type of thing. So, um, what do you feel is kind of the best way to get there? And why is it so important to get writers with writers? Like, how does all of that come together?
Well, a writer is a writer. They're a producer. And they're a producer until they decide they want to become a builder. Some people come here wanting to build. And I'm telling you, I told Casey and Brandon when I met with them in Greenville, I'm coming here to build. And there was nobody. I'm telling you, maybe Brad and Matt Smith were trying a little bit to build. Nobody was building. And all
Mhm.
I wanted to do was build because I told them, I mean, I knew what was going to happen when I saw these people. I met Edward, I met all these players, but they were all in because it was so easy to get a lead and make a dial. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy.
Yeah.
Now money, now money, now money. I wanted a business. And I knew that first of all, I'm not a good salesperson, okay? I'm a good conversationalist. I like people. But I'm gonna tell you, if I had to sell for a living, I'd starve to death. I don't like sales. And that's just me. Okay. I think it's because, Jennifer, I don't like people telling me no. That's probably something from my childhood. I just don't like being told no. So I don't give them a chance to tell me no because I don't run appointments. And so, especially with the dialing part, because people that can pick up the phone and dial a number of somebody that asked them to call, that was almost impossible for me. I'd just sweat blood making dials, I'm telling you, because they might say no, and I despise that.
Yeah.
But what was your question?
About just the importance of writers with writers and
Yeah.
just,
So here's
yeah,
another law. Okay,
getting
there
to
are laws.
20. Hmm.
There are laws that you can't. That 20 is everybody. Okay, it's not 20 direct to you. It's just this 20 writers because 20 writers is going to get you $100,000 a month base shot. Okay, and you do the math. Okay, if you do, say you do 20,000 of it, well, you're gonna make 105% of that. So say
Hmm.
that's what 10,000 a month, and the other 80,000. Your average spread will probably be like 20%, say. So you're looking at 20% of 80,000. What is that? 16,000.
Hmm.
16,000 plus 10,000. That's 26,000 a month. That's 300,000 a year.
Hmm.
Could you live a little better? Not you, maybe they're already, but can people live a little better on 300,000 than they can on the 50,000 they used to work? They used to make working, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. So,
Yes.
but the reason that you want people to have people, it's the only thing that keeps people here. I'm gonna tell you, you get a recruit, money won't keep them here, leads won't keep them here, contracts won't keep them here, training definitely won't keep them here. The
Hmm.
only thing that keeps people here is having some people
Hmm.
because greed kicks in. See, somebody comes here, they recruit one person, then they decide that it would be better if they went to work at Target, and they leave their one person. Well, what if their one person a year later is doing 200,000 a month?
Hmm.
And you're at Target. See, people don't want that to happen. So having somebody keeps people here.
Yeah.
And the more that they have, the more solid they are here. And so I mean, you see me work. This is what I do. I get a person. When I recruit a person, this is what my brain thinks. Three things. Number one, I'm telling myself this. This is going to be my next agency owner.
Hmm. Hmm. I
See,
love
and
that.
by believing that, I'm going to treat this person different.
Hmm.
And look, I'm gonna believe that until they prove me wrong. And look, they may prove me wrong day two,
Hmm.
but when I get them, I'm thinking this is gonna be my next agency owner. The second thing my brain's thinking is if I don't get somebody for this person, now I don't mean get somebody and give to this person. I'm talking about get somebody in their warm market, which is the easiest place to go fishing. Okay, look at how many fish are in that market. Good Lord!
Hmm.
But I'm gonna get them. So if I don't get them somebody this week, they're gonna quit next week. I believe that.
Hmm.
And the third thing my brain is thinking, I'd be willing to bet that this person's best friend could be the next Jennifer Gaines or Jordan Shank.
Hmm. Hmm.
See, now, by believing that, now I have a sense of urgency. See, because I got to get to that person that I'm looking for before this guy quits or
Hmm.
before this lady quits.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's how I operate. I mean, look, your kids were down here. They saw me work.
Yeah.
That's I do this constantly. It's who I am now. Okay. Because look, if I just recruit to me, direct to me, direct to me, direct, which is what resumes get you. Okay, you get people through resumes, but they're all direct to you.
Hmm.
So you may be 100 yards wide, but you're a half inch deep. See, your foundation is a half inch.
Okay.
That means that if one of these people quit that you got, there's nobody underneath to pop up through that hole. You got a hole in your foundation.
Mm.
And you can't build a tall building on a half inch foundation.
Yeah.
Now, here I am, Jennifer, 11 and a half years in. I'm 10 wide. 10. I've got 10 people direct to me.
Hmm.
But let me tell you something. I am deep as hell.
Mm.
I have got mass. If
Mm.
y'all, one of the things that you've missed in your life, Jennifer, you've never been in a hurricane, okay? Hurricanes come through with 120, 130 mile an hour winds. You see how big oak trees get? Oak trees are big, okay?
Yeah.
Hurricane comes through down here, 120, 130-mile-an-hour winds, and it uproots it. You can look on YouTube. Look at that flood down in Texas, okay? It had tree just laid them over. Big old gigantic root ball right at the end of it, okay?
Okay.
It's because an oak tree, a lot of their roots are on top of the ground. You take pine trees, we have those down here. Hurricane comes through, does not uproot a pine tree, it snaps them in half because pine trees have deep roots. And the way I look at my business is that just cold market recruiting, where they're all direct to you, has a poor root system.
Mm, mm,
Look, you understand, and
mm.
I am now, since we just had another AO in that leg last week, I am 12 deep in AOs in TAR's leg. 12 deep, 5 deep in 130 contracts, and 4 deep in equity partners. That is the single strongest leg in symmetry.
Whew,
And the
man.
vast majority of it was built warm market.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got look, if you look, you can look. This is what I have people do. Kyle and Kristen have done this for me, okay? I have people draw their agency for me,
Hmm.
okay? And everybody on this picture that doesn't have a line coming down from it and a circle with a name in it, that person could quit today.
Mm,
See, this kind of stuff, I make people look at this kind of stuff because I want you to know this is what you have now. But if you don't get them somebody, this is not going to look like this in a month. It's
mhm,
not. You're going to have to
mhm,
erase about
mm,
half of these people. That's
mm,
just the nature of the beast because this thing's too hard to be doing solo.
mm,
And
mm.
once again, why wouldn't you, if you're going to build something, why wouldn't you want help? You're not going to go out and build a house by yourself, for God's sake.
No,
You want help
definitely
and you
not.
want good help. You want a lot of help. You want good materials. That means you want good people, just like
Mhm.
building a house.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
want it, look, you also want it to stand
Mhm.
for longer than, 6 months. You want to
Definitely.
build it strong. So you
Definitely.
use the right materials, you use the right help, people
Mhm.
that know what they're doing. That's what we do here. But I mean, you
Mhm.
can do it any way you want. You can.
Yeah.
If somebody tells me they don't want to build, I'm fine with that. That's what we got Summit for, okay?
Mhm.
If they tell me they want to learn everything before they do anything, I'm fine with that. Just let me know how that works for you. All
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
meanwhile, what I'm doing and what you're doing is you are identifying those people that are going to be here long term, and that's who you're going to put your time into.
Mhm. Mhm.
Make sense?
It totally, totally makes sense. And, you talk about like, not being here or something like that. Like at this point in my just time here, 8.5 years, if I quit this, I'd have to like go into hiding. I would feel, I wouldn't be able to like live with myself that I
No,
quit on
no, no,
everybody. So
no.
I would go
I'd
into
hunt your butt
hiding.
down. I know that. I'd hunt you down.
I know. You feel like dragging me back.
That's
But
right.
okay, time is like gone by. I just looked at the clock and it said 54. I'm like, what? Thank you for all the information on building. Can we quickly just talk about conference? We had a
Yeah.
big call Friday about conference. Can you please tell us why this should be a non-negotiable and why, like, what do we do if someone says they can't afford to go? Like, what guidance should we give that person?
Well, first of all, let me put it this way. Nobody, nobody's not a very big number, okay? Nobody has ever won not going to conference, ever. So unless you're a unicorn, you're going to be one of those statistics, okay? Nobody's ever won here like that. But think about this, because a lot of our job, Jennifer, is holding a mirror up in front of people and getting them to look at themselves, okay? So my question is, if you can't afford to go, why can't you afford to go? And if
Mm,
you don't go, what's going to happen with your finances? Because what you've been doing got your finances where they are today. So by not going to this, the biggest thing you could go to grow your business, the biggest place to go to get inspired, to get knowledge, to see people that came here from a worse place than you are.
mm,
What's going to change your income if you don't go? See, so I've never accepted that. Plus, you got a month. Okay, if you're here, up your resources, up your activity. Write three extra apps, and take that and put it in your what I call your I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired account, and use that to go to conference. But it's not okay. I promise you, it's not okay to say I can't afford to go because you won't be here to go next year.
Mm,
That's just a fact. Now, if
yeah.
you're a personal producer and you don't read, you don't attend, you don't go to stuff, then don't go. Why would they go? They're see their lifeblood, personal producer's lifeblood is leads. Builder's lifeblood is personal development.
Mm,
And you can't get more personal development than you get at conference.
mhm. Yeah.
So look, and let me tell you, if you don't go, we're not gonna be mad. We're not gonna treat you differently, okay? We're gonna feel bad for you because we know the impact. I don't do things that don't
Yeah.
get me closer to my goal. Just don't do them. Okay. And going to conference, you think that'll get you closer to your goal here? 100%. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You are my one. You and Kyle, by the way, both are examples of how unfair the hair god is. Okay. I just want to let you know that before I leave.
Well, thanks. Danny, we appreciate you and you guys, let's hit the done button on conference. Go to the breakout session with Danny, learn how to build an AO machine, be inspired from his just what he's going to share with us on stage. And I'll be sad if I don't see you guys there. So I really, really hope to see you there.
Yeah.
But
Don't do it for us. Do it for yourself.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
Jennifer. I
For sure.
appreciate you. I appreciate your team.
Absolutely. Danny,
Anytime.
thank you
Okay.
so much. Thank you. You guys, let's have a great week. And yeah, we're going to wrap up the end of July. Crazy.
Yeah. All
So,
right.
anyone,
See
thank
y'all.
you so much. Bye bye, guys.
Thanks, Danny. Bye, guys.